I'm perplexed by this. There is really a sellout going on, it seems to me. Instead of figuring out innovative ways to teach our kids and close the gap, it's like the system is caving to the least and meeting these kids where they are rather than bringing them up to standard. Is that a fair assessment?
That is a fair assessment. And it actually goes beyond that because you're seeing almost like a cover-up within the education system itself. I mean, basic proficiency levels on average are about 25% of the subject material when they graduate high school. Now, what they don't say is those numbers have been flat for about 30 years, yet we've been dropping standards at the same time. So if we kept the same standards in place for 30 years, the numbers would be far lower and students wouldn't even be making the basic proficiency levels. It would be lower than that. And it really is devastating because these are supposed to be the future leaders, yet we don't treat them that way. We don't educate them that way.
Well, you say K through 12 has just collapsed.
Correct.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I give my students a basic citizenship exam on the first day. I've been teaching political science for years, and nearly every student fails that exam. These students don't even know the very basics of American government, and yet government impacts all aspects of our lives. But it's across the board. It's in every subject we're seeing this failure.
Wow. Professor Nick's citizenship quiz we gave to all of you in the audience this morning. Now, I haven't seen this. Who is the Speaker of the House? That's something you asked the students.
Correct.
Okay, now this changes,
It does.
during elections and sort of thing like that. How do they do with that?
Most will get it wrong.
Really?
If you put a picture of Nancy Pelosi up, they probably wouldn't be able to identify that that's Nancy Pelosi.
Really?
That's how bad it is.
How did you guys do on that? How do you think you guys did? How many of you think you passed the test completely? Got it all right? Okay, you're scared now. You know what? Well, 11.86% of the audience passed the test. 7 people, who I'm not going to call by name, no, I'm just kidding, got 0 correct answers. Not one person got 6 correct answers. All right. So, Marion, what did the administration tell you about how to treat your student?
You could probably count all the 6th grade levels on one hand, and everybody else was below grade level. And because the majority was at a 3rd grade level, I was told to teach my class at a 3rd grade level, give them 3rd grade level readings and doing some of the strategies that you would do with a 3rd grade level class. And it's like, it's 6th grade. We should be teaching 6th grade at a 6th grade level. It's actually in our standards. You're actually required to teach all students in the 6th grade at a 6th grade level, whether they're below or not. There's some things you can do in between to bring them up, but you're not going to bring somebody up unless you're like pulling them by their bootstraps and bringing them up, giving those strategies.
How many hours do you think you worked a week?
Over 100.
Over 100.
I actually calculated to where I was working between 105 and 108 hours from August through February. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it anymore. I was exhausted.
Well, that works out with your pay, which is embarrassing, to about $4.50 an hour.
Yeah.
That's what we're paying teachers. And the budgets are low. All teachers get into their own pockets to bring materials to school and that sort of thing. I mean, these are the most dedicated bunch of people I've ever seen in my life.
I spend between $500 and $2,000 on my classroom every year, depending on the needs of the students and what we were doing.
Oh my God. All right, coming up, Marianne says students have put their hands on her. They put oil on the floor so she'll fall. They've torn posters off the wall. They've taken pictures off her desk and smashed the frames. Also, they can get kicked out and don't have to learn. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.